Hi students, welcome back to Max Video Classes. So in this video I am going to explain exercise 4.2 sums. So everyone open your textbooks and your running notes and see the first question. Find the roots of the following quadratic equations by factorization. Here some equations are given, some quadratic equations are given. You find the solutions of these quadratic equations by factorization method. So when you apply any method to find the solutions of a quadratic equation, first observe the terms of the given equation. Okay, so in the terms, if all the coefficients are integral coefficients, then you apply the method. Otherwise, that means if there is any term in the form of p by q, first you change all the coefficients of the terms into integral coefficients and then you solve it. For example, let's see the fourth equation. So 2x square minus x plus 1 by 8 is equal to 0. So in this equation, one term is in the form of p by q. So better to change this term into integer. Okay, how? It is very easy. Find the LCM of the all denominators. Here the LCM is 8 and the numerator is 16x square minus 8x plus 1 is equal to 0. And when you transpose this 8 to right side, then 16x square minus 8x plus 1 is equal to 0. Okay, and already you know by factorization method how to solve the quadratic equation. So try to yourself. So if you have any doubts in these equations, I will explain in Google Meet section. Okay, let's come to the second question. So here the second one is, find two numbers whose sum is 27 and product is 182. Find two numbers whose sum is 27 and product is 182. Okay, so here what are the unknowns? The two numbers are the unknowns, but we are in quadratic equations in one variable only. So that's why here we take only one unknown as x. Okay, so out of the two numbers, if you take one number is x, let one number be x, then another number, if one number be x, then another number, their sum is 27. So if the one number is x, another number, their sum is their sum is 27. So first number plus second number is equal to 27. So one number is x, so we want the second number. So second number is equal to 27 minus x. So other number is equal to 27 minus x. And according to the question, their product is 182. So the product of these two numbers means x into 27 minus x is equal to 182. Okay, so x into 27 minus x into 27, 27x minus x into x square is equal to 182. Transpose all the terms to right side. So minus x square transposed to right side becomes plus x square, and plus 27x transposed to right side it becomes minus 27x, and right side already we have 182 is equal to 0. Now this is the quadratic equation, x square minus 27x plus 182 is equal to 0. Now solve this quadratic equation by factorization method. So multiply the constant and x square term. Here constant is 182 and x square term 182 into x square, 182 x square, and find out the factors whose sum is equal to minus 27x. So here the two factors are minus 13x minus 14x. Okay, then split the middle term, minus 27x as minus 13x and minus 14x. So x square minus 13x minus 14x plus 182 is equal to 0. Okay, so from the first two terms, x is a common factor, so take it out. So x into x minus 13, and the next two terms minus 14 is the common factor. So if you take it out, minus 14 into x minus 13 is equal to 0. That means x minus 13 into x minus 14 is equal to 0. So that means x minus 13 is equal to 0 or x minus 14 is equal to 0. Then x is equal to 13 or x is equal to 14. Okay. Here we find the two numbers and x is equal to 3, x is equal to 4. So what is x? Out of the two numbers, one number is x. So we consider these two solutions. Okay, so if x is equal to 13, if x is equal to 13, then the two numbers are one number is 13 and another number is 27 minus 13. It is equal to 14. So if x is equal to 14, then the two numbers are 14 comma 27 minus 14. It is equal to 13. Okay, so therefore the two numbers are 13 and 14. Okay, so let's we come to the next question. Yeah, here the third one is find two consecutive positive integers, sum of whose squares is 365. Find two consecutive positive integers, sum of whose squares is 365. So here consecutive positive integers means continuous integers. That means if the one integer is 2, then another integer is 3. If the one integer is minus 4, then another integer is minus 3. Consecutive means continuous, the next integer. Okay, and here you find two consecutive positive integers and sum of whose squares is 365. So first of all we choose the two consecutive positive integers. Let two consecutive positive integers be x comma x plus 1. So if the one integer is x, then next integer is x plus 1 and sum of whose squares. So these are the two consecutive positive integers and sum of their squares. Their squares means according to the question, their squares means x square and x plus 1 whole square, and their sum means plus x square plus x plus 1 whole square. It is equal to 365. Now simplify this equation. X square plus, it is in the form of a plus b whole square, so it is equal to a square x square plus 2ab means 2x plus 1 is equal to 365. So x square plus x square 2x square plus 2x plus 1, and when you transpose 365 to left side, it becomes minus 365 is equal to 0. So 2x square plus 2x plus 1 minus 365, it is equal to minus 364 is equal to 0. And when you observe the terms on left side, so in every term 2 is a common factor, so take it out. So 2 into x square plus x minus 182 is equal to 0, and when you transpose this 2 to right side, then x square plus x minus 182 is equal to 0. Now this is the quadratic equation, and by factorization method solve this quadratic equation to find the two consecutive positive integers. Okay, so multiply the constant and x square term. Constant is minus x square and x square term is x square, so minus 182 into x square minus 182 x square, and find the two factors whose sum is equal to plus x. So here what are the two factors? 14x minus 13x. So that implies x square plus 14x minus 13x minus 182 is equal to 0. So from the first two terms, x is a common factor, so x into x plus 14, and from the second last two factors, minus 13 is the common factor, so minus 13 into x plus 14 is equal to 0. So x plus 14 into x minus 13 is equal to 0. That means x plus 14 is equal to 0, or x minus 13 is equal to 0. So if x plus 14 is equal to 0, then x is equal to minus 14. If x minus 13 is equal to 0, then x is equal to 13. But from the beginning, we are taking that x as positive integer, so x is equal to minus 14. This is not a solution. Okay, so therefore x is equal to 13, since x is not equal to minus 14. Why? Because minus 14 is not a positive integer. So if x is equal to 13, then the two consecutive positive integers are, hence two consecutive positive integers are 13 comma 14. Okay, let's come to the fourth question. Fifth one, the altitude of a right triangle is 7 centimeters less than its base. If the hypotenuse is 13 centimeters, find the other two sides. Once again, the altitude of a right triangle is 7 centimeters less than its base. Here we have a right triangle, means right angle triangle. This is the right angle triangle. So in this right angle triangle, what is the base? AB is the base. Okay, and what is hypotenuse? AC is the hypotenuse, and this hypotenuse is 13 centimeters, and altitude is 7 centimeters less than its base. Base is AB. Where is altitude? BC is the altitude. In a right angle triangle, two sides acts as base and its corresponding altitude. If AB we treat as base, then its corresponding altitude is BC. So if BC is the base, then its corresponding altitude is AB. This is only in right angle triangle. Okay, so the altitude of a right angle triangle is 7 centimeters less than its base. So if you are taking AB as the base, then BC is the altitude, and this altitude is 7 centimeters less than its base. So if the base is x centimeters, then altitude is x minus 7 centimeters. Okay, let base be x centimeters, then altitude is equal to x minus 7 centimeters, and hypotenuse, it is already given, it is equal to 13 centimeters. And what is the relation between these three? So according to the Pythagoras theorem, yes, hypotenuse square is equal to side square plus side square. That means AC square is equal to AB square plus BC square. So by using the Pythagoras theorem, hypotenuse square is equal to side square plus side square. Here what is the hypotenuse? AC is the hypotenuse, so its square is equal to 13 square is equal to side. If you take one base as one side, then x square plus another side, altitude is the another side, so it is equal to x minus 7 whole square. Now simplify this equation. 13 square is equal to 169 is equal to x square plus x minus 7 whole square, that means a minus b whole square. That implies x square minus 14x plus 49. Okay, So 169 is equal to x square plus x square, 2x square minus 14x plus 49. Now transpose this 169 to right side, then 2x square minus 14x plus 49 minus 169 is equal to 0. So 2x square minus 14x plus 49 minus 169 minus 120 is equal to 0. And when you observe the terms, in every term 2 is the common factor, so take it out. So 2 into x square minus 7x minus 60 is equal to 0. And transpose this 2 to right side, x square minus 7x minus 60 is equal to 0. Now solve this quadratic equation by factorization method. Multiply the constant and x square term, minus 60 into x square minus 60 x square, and find out the two factors whose sum is equal to minus 7x. Here the two factors are minus 12x, 5x. Okay, so split the middle term, x square minus 12x plus 5x minus 60 is equal to 0. From the first two terms, x is a common factor, so x into x minus 12 and plus 5 is the common factor, x 5 into x minus 12 is equal to 0. So x minus 12 into x plus 5 is equal to 0. That means x minus 12 is equal to 0 or x plus 5 is equal to 0. That implies x is equal to 12 or x is equal to minus 5. So, but what is x? X presents one side of a right angle triangle. That quantity cannot be negative. So x not equal to minus 5. So therefore x is equal to 12, since x cannot be negative. Okay, so if x is equal to 12, then base is equal to 12 centimeters and its altitude is equal to altitude x minus 17, so 12 minus 7, it is equal to 5 centimeters. So these are the measurements of two sides. Okay, let's come to the sixth question. A cottage industry produces a certain number of pottery articles in a day. It was observed on one particular day that the cost of production of each article was 3 more than twice the number of articles produced on that day. If the total cost of production on that day was 90 rupees, find the number of articles produced and the cost of each article. Once again, a cottage industry produces a certain number of pottery articles in a day. It was observed on a particular day that the cost of production of each article was 3 more than twice the number of articles produced on the day. If the total cost of production on the day was 90 rupees, find the number of articles produced and the cost of each article. Okay, so here what are the unknowns? The number of articles produced on that particular day, that is one unknown, and the cost of each article, this is the another unknown. Okay, so out of these two we can take any one quantity as x. Okay, so which quantity we are taking as x? Observe the second sentence. It was observed on a particular day the cost of production of each article, the cost of production of each article was 3 more than twice the number of articles produced on the day. So cost of each article is depend on number of articles produced on that day. So that's which quantity we are taking as X? Yes, obviously the number of articles that produced on particular day be X. Let the number of articles produced on the day be X. Then the cost of each article. Then the cost of each article is equal to 2x plus 3 rupees. Why? Because the cost of each article was 3 more than twice the number of articles. So we are taking that number of articles as X. Twice means 2 times and 3 more means plus 3 rupees. Okay. So according to the question, the total cost of production was 90 rupees. So from these two quantities, how to find the total cost? On that particular day, if you are produced X articles and each article cost is 2x plus 3 rupees, then what is the total cost of X articles? How to find it? By multiplying these two quantities. So X into 2x plus 3, it presents the total cost of articles that produced on that day. Okay, so it is equal to 90. The quantity is given now. So the total cost of production on that day was 90 rupees. It is already given. So X into 2x plus 3 is equal to 90. Now simplify this equation. X into 2x, 2x square plus X into 3, 3x is equal to 90. So transpose this 90 to left side. 2x square plus 3x minus 90 is equal to 0. So multiply this constant and x square term. Minus 90 into 2x square minus 180 x square, and find out the two factors whose sum is equal to plus 3x. So here the two factors are 15x minus 12x. Okay, now split the middle term. 2x square plus 15x minus 12x minus 90 is equal to 0. Okay, and from the first two terms, x is the common factor, so x into 2x plus 15, and from the last two terms, the common factor is minus 6 is the common factor. So minus 6 into 2x plus 15 is equal to 0, and 2x plus 15 is common factor, so 2x plus 15 into x minus 6 is equal to 0. That means 2x plus 15 is equal to 0 or x minus 6 is equal to 0. So if 2x plus 15 is equal to 0, then 2x is equal to minus 15, x is equal to minus 15 by 2, or x minus 16 is equal to 0 means x is equal to 6. But what is x? It presents the number of articles. That means it's a countable number. Okay, but minus 15 by 2, it is not a countable number. So that's why here x is equal to 2, since x is a countable number. So x is not equal to minus 15 by 2. So therefore means hence number of articles that can be produced on the day is 6, and cost of each article is equal to 2 into 6 plus 3, 12 plus 3, it is equal to 15 rupees. This is exercise 4.2. Let's stop here. Remaining we will continue in the next video. Thank you for watching. Bye.